Hello, hello. So I just want to show you what you can do if you don't have specialty paper to do like your favorite sports team or maybe your kids' college or high school team, and you want to do a layout for them. So I'm doing Seahawks because we're having the Super Bowl tomorrow. Well, by the time this airs, it probably will be on the day of. And in preparation for that, I'm coming down with a cold. You can probably hear it in my voice. So I can't really go out and get anything. So I thought, well, I'm just going to create it myself. So I'm using this, believe it or not. I'm using a baby stamp and die set. And that's how I created these t-shirts. So I just put the edge of my paper right there so it would be cut off. Or you could just cut it as is and then take it to your trimmer and cut it. But that's how I did it. So I cut those out that way. And then these little letters, that is from the mini alphabet dies. And all of these have been in the catalog for, since, I think they're in the annual catalog actually. But they've been online for quite a while. So these are available. I just checked. And so far, they're not on last chance, so that's good. I love these little dies because they're perfect for scrapbooking and card making. So anyway, so that's how I created this. And actually, I'm going to show you what those dies look like. I thought I had it over there. So it comes like this. So here's the mini dies. So it's all, they're not like little tiny separate letters. It's all one big one. So all I did is take like approximately a 1x1 square and then just placed it over the letters that I needed and then tossed. If anything else got cut, I just tossed the little extras. So this is how it comes. Now you could just, like, let's say if you were doing maybe gold paper or some kind of specialty paper, and you knew that you would use these letters over and over and over again in that paper, like black, probably actually black or white would be good to do, and just do one whole sheet and then just cut a whole bunch at once. And then you could color them if it's white. But I wanted to use the Night of Navy and the Granny Apple Green because those are kind of Seahawk colors. So I cut that, and then I gutted my background paper. And I'm actually going to make this a 2-page layout. I was originally going to do it as like a 1-page, but it looked kind of crowded to me. So I think we're going to spread it out and it'll be Sea and then Hawks, because that's kind of the chant that we do if you're not a Seahawks fan. So this, I cut the Night of Navy and I just gutted. I do that quite a bit. I learned that from my upline, Kelly Fitzgerald. She does that a lot. So I just do a 1-inch border all the way around. So the inside then is, what, about 10 by 10 roughly. And then I did on the Granny Apple Green, I cut off 1/2 inch on one side that way and then 1/2 inch this way. And then I gutted it about 3/4 inch in, just to so that I'd have some room to anchor it to the blue. And then this is a 10 by 10, or actually it's 11 by 11. Yeah, 11 by 11. Okay, sorry, I was having a little coughing fit, so I had to pause for a minute. Anyway, and then this is the Cutest Onesie die. So I got the Cutest Onesie bundle. I had got it for a baby layout that I'm going to be doing, but I was thinking, how can I use this for multiple use? And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be a cute t-shirt. And I was just going to do it for a Kraken layout that I'm doing because I'm a hockey fan and more than a football fan. And so I thought it would be good for that. But then I just had the idea, oh, for the Seahawks, I should do it for this. So anyway, so I'm going to get busy. I'm going to cut out and gut the other page. Now I'm going to do a 2-page spread, and then I'll come back and we'll decorate together. I decided to come on and actually show you what I mean by gutting, because if you're new, you may not understand what I'm talking about. So I'm moving this to the 1-inch side, 1 inch over from the cut angle. And I'm going to move my slider up there. So I'm going to start at 11 inches because this paper is 12 by 12 and it's 2-tone from Stampin' Up. So I'm just going to go from 11 inches up to the 1 inch right here. I'm going to lift it up, and then I'm going to go 1 inch out here and let it come down. And then I'm going to turn it again and do 1 inch here. Now the purpose of this, why do this? Well, is then I can use the paper on the inside to cut out. That's what I use to cut out the shirts. And then, especially if you're using like a designer series paper, the kind of the design on it, because you don't always have that much of that paper. Now, cardstock, you probably have a plethora of it. At least I know I do. But if I can save paper, hey, let's just save the paper. So on the Granny Apple Green, I'm going to just cut off 1/2 inch. So I measured it to 1/2. And then I'm going to do another 1/2 inch here. There. It goes up a little bit there. Well, that'll be okay. And then I'm going to go out 3/4 of an inch. Cut it right about there. And I'm going to go about 3/4 here. Cut it there. I'm going to turn it. Cut it there. I'm going to turn it again. Now, I could have just cut the white or not cut the white, I'm sorry, I could have had the white just be in the background. And I'll show you what I mean by that. But my cuts are not always totally perfect, like you saw on that one. So that's why I decided to cut my white and have that placed over instead of having it show through underneath. So if you don't quite get it, you can use the scissors. And so I'll just move this off to the side. So let's grab the Night of Navy and the Granny Apple Green. So I'm just going to put that over here for a minute. And I love having like a grid underneath me. If you don't have like a grid, there is grid paper from Stampin' Up that you can get. But it helps you line up everything. Okay, so what I was referring to is I could take the white and like this one's been trimmed, but if it wasn't trimmed, I could just put it underneath like that, right? And have it show through like that. But my cuts aren't perfect, so I decided to just place it on the top. And again, it also helped me save on some paper too. So that I could use my the extra from it for other projects, or cut out other stuff, or I could have used it for the letters actually and color the letters if I wanted to do that. So it'll just go like this. All right, so I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Okay, I like to use my foam brush and kind of do like spots of color throughout my layout. So I'm going to use Night of Navy, and then I'm going to use Granny Apple Green. So both of those are kind of strong colors. So I'm going to kind of go off onto my pad here so it's not quite so bright. And then I'm just going to rub it in here. So it just kind of gives it like a little bit of a pop of color. And I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be putting everything, so I'm just going to kind of do like a triangle sort of look to kind of get that blend in. And so see, it's very subtle. And I'll use the green next. So I'm going to kind of blend them all together. So, and you just kind of get like a soft, kind of a soft rubbing motion going. So just kind of, I'm doing opposite corners from what I did on the other one. And I kind of like start doing this round thing before I land on the paper. Otherwise you kind of end up with like a big splotch. So that's what I'm doing. And this one I'm kind of getting a little bit more coverage on it than I did on the other page. Okay, so that is Night of Navy. And then I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green. Ooh, that one's really juicy. Well, it is really, so I got it, that means it's fairly, look at, I'm getting it all over my hands. So I just want to make sure I don't get too much on here. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go like just off of where I did the blue. So I'm just going to kind of smooth it out here and get just sort of around it and kind of blend it in with the blue. I'm going to okay, get the other one in here. sometimes these darker inks, especially when you get them, first get them, they are really, really juicy, which is great. It means you don't really have to press down much when you're stamping, but sometimes they leak a little bit. So you gotta be really careful with it. I have yet to ever have to like re-ink, and I use mine a lot, because in any of the colors, whether they're the really dark ones or not, I have yet to have to re-ink. I do have re-inkers because I like to use re-inkers for other purposes. I use them, put them in a spray bottle, or the little, I forget what it's called, the little glitter pen if I want to have a specific color. Shimmer pen. Okay, so I think I'm probably going to have that one on the left, this one on the right. You notice I did not attach my white yet to the page because in case I mess up, which I kind of did here, I want to be able to fix it, and then to decide which is going to be on the right and which is going to be on the left. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to try and blend that in a little bit more, make it look like it was purposely done, and then I'm going to get some of the blue, put that on there. And I might end up covering that little splotch with either a photo or something like that. So if these are going to be like this, I might actually even go in a little bit more with the blue, a little bit more with the green. So, and then this one's kind of splotchy, but it might get covered up with that Seahawks banner thing, so that I'm doing with the t-shirts. So I think we'll be okay. So I really like that blended look. It's just kind of a little trick. It just helps draw your eye across your page when you do that. It kind of softens the white so much that's in the background. Anyway, so I'm gonna wash my hands and come back. Okay, so I decided to incorporate some of the product of the month, and this one was the product of the month for January. There is still some available, and how can you get it? Well, if you purchase $75 or more in product, it'll get a pop-up and it'll say you can choose your product of the month. So you can either get this one, which is January's. The one for February is this really pretty paper, almost looks like mermaid paper, I want to call it. So you can choose that. Or the one in December is also still available, and that was like some really pretty blues paper. So if you want two, you have to get 2 orders of 75 or more. So place one order and choose the Fabulous Sayings, and then place another order to get like the mermaid paper or whatever. And if you do that on my site, I will send you a little gifty for spending the $150 or more, which is a card kit that I send you. Everything's pre-cut, and all you have to do is stamp it. And I'll be using the Fabulous Sayings, so you will have all that to be able to complete it, or you can use whatever sentiments you have. So I'm peeling this off, and I'm talking about this because I was looking at the sayings, and I thought, oh, you can do anything, because Seahawks, you can then just kind of randomly stamp it. I could do hooray, because we're going to win. Now, if it was 2015, I might use that one, but we're not going to talk about that. So, anyway, we lost, okay, if you didn't know. So, and it was very tragic at the very, very end. You can Google it. But anyway, so that's why I pulled this out, because you could do, your team, hooray, or you can do anything, like if it's, especially if it was like your high school or your kid's high school game or something like that, and you want to just kind of cheer them on as to what they were trying to accomplish, whether it's football, basketball, or any kind of sport, or even academic or anything like that. So that's why I think these are not just for cards. You can use these for scrapbooking as well. Even like hello would be cute, right? So I'm not going to stamp it yet. I might come back and do it at the end. Well, actually, I could do hooray. I think that would kind of work. And then that might actually help cover that up. Yeah, that's what I'll do. We can get a block. Okay, so I got my block, and I'm just going to lightly tap it on Night of Navy. And I'm going to just kind of randomly, see, kind of cover that up. So generally when you do like random stamping, you kind of want to do like a 3, groups of 3, like a triangle kind of thing. So I'm just going to twist this, turn it every which way, because then it'll look intentional. And you see what I did there? I kind of did a little bump, right? So I'll cover that up with like a picture probably. Or maybe one of those t-shirts. But I'm deliberately, that one I gotta fix. I gotta get my head in here. I'm deliberately turning it because I know I'm not a straight stamper or anything. I want to make sure, you know, look that it's supposed to be random and just kind of all over. So now if I had like a football stamp, I would probably go in between all this and stamp a football, but I don't. And you could do, I just did that. So that's that's called second generation. And that's also like a way of stamp it in the dark, original, and then stamp on top. But since I hadn't been doing that, I might, actually I might do that. I might fill that in with some lighter ones like that. That'll help speed it up actually. So I'm going to space more apart. Got a little light in here. So I'm just kind of randomly stamping this. And you can, on some of these inks, like this is a pretty dark one, I could even probably do a 3rd generation, so stamp it again, but it would be pretty light. Oh, that one can. I'm going to try to get that a little bit better here. Pardon my head, but there we go. Oh, that one I'm going to have to cover up. And that's kind of the beauty of stamping. You can fix anything, right? You can use you know, embellishments to cover a mistake, or oops. You can get one down here because that's an oops. Really, that was my Minnesota accent coming out. Yeah, I don't have to. It actually looks kind of cool, but the rest isn't like that, so I'll need to cover that up. Okay, so we got that one done. I'm going to do this. And congratulations would have been good too. We could have done that. So I'm going to do, and then light, and the dark, and then light. So, and you kind of want to go off the paper too a little bit. There we go. So this is just kind of, it's kind of soothing to sit and do this. You know, you're like, oh, I can just sit and do this while you're watching TV, listening to the game. If you're watching this while you're watching the Seahawks win against Patriots, then, you know, you could sit and do this then. Or if you're a Patriots fan, you can use your colors as well. But you might want to use that other stamp for that, though, instead of hooray. You know, just in case. See, and I'm talking smack, so. There you go. The 12s. Seahawk fans are called the 12s. 12th man. So, or person. You want to be politically correct. So, anyway, 12th person. Or 12th man. And, oh, that would be good. I could do 12s in here with the green. Oh, I'm going to do that next. Okay. Anyway, so, where was I going with that? Oh. Gotta fix that. With the with the 12s, they are going really crazy here in Seattle. Been watching on the news because I've been sick. I can't get out there and go cheer them on in the public, but it's just been nuts. They are very, very rabid fans. So, okay, so I think this looks good. I'm going to get my number stamp. I'll be right back. Okay, so the only number ones that I have are these ones called classic letters, which they are discontinued, unfortunately. But if you have, you can use whatever numbers you got, obviously. So, like if you're doing your son or daughter's sports team, and they have wear a specific number jersey, you could use that. Or maybe they're senior or junior or whatever. Use the 12 or 10 or whatever you got to get the number. So I'm just gonna get this kind of lined up here. So these are pretty big. I would probably have not done something quite so big, but we're going to go for it. Okay, and I am going to go light and dark. So first generation, second generation. Just kind of go off a little bit. And so I am creating basically my own background paper, my own DSP by doing this. And this is another way to, like I said, what if you're working on something and you don't have paper? Maybe you did a trip to Italy, but you don't have any paper that says Italy on it or something. Italy's on my mind because I'm also watching the Olympics. And you could probably see a little bit, I have an Olympic shirt on. Anyway, I was thinking, I might do that for my trip when I went to Italy, and kind of do some random stamping to kind of get those countries on my paper, because I don't think I didn't see any scrapbooking paper when I was over there. So, because if I had, I would have stopped. Kind of don't really want a strong one there. There we go. So that one's done. Let's get this other one. There, right there. So again, I'm kind of going like a triangle. You can kind of see I've started up in that left corner. That's pretty much how I always do it when I'm doing these random, creating my own paper kind of design, just to kind of make it look intentional. And really what you normally would do is you would use the big stamp, whatever your biggest one is, you stamp that first, and then you fill in with the little one. But I didn't think about it till I was in the middle of this, so that's all right. And it looks like I'm finding room for this 12. So the 12th man. So yeah, I am watching the Olympics, and I am going to do an Olympic layout too. But the Winter Olympics is going on right now, and I'm a big hockey fan. Grew up in Minnesota, so much more hockey than football, to be honest. I don't really understand football that much. Not that I totally understand hockey either, but it's just kind of fun for me to watch hockey more so than football, because I understand it a little bit more than I do football. All right, so we got that done. And again, inky fingers, gotta go wash my hands. Okay, so I went and cut out from the Gears and Textures die set. I cut out the Granny Apple Green and the Night of Navy, but I also cut out, I found Granny Apple Green in my Christmas stash for the glitter paper, so I cut that out. And then I also found in my stash, my Christmas stash, this was close to my heart, Sapphire, so it's a really darker blue, and that would work as well. So that's what I'm going to use, and I just want to show you. So this is a 4x6, I think, paper, and this is how I laid it out when I laid it in the die cut machine. So if you want to take a picture of it, and then I just, when it was done, then I got all of these cool little gears and textures. So it's kind of hard to see with the glitter, so I don't know if I'm going to use the glitter, and maybe I don't know, that might not be that manly or whatever, but I think it is kind of cool. So like you could layer it like this on top, or if I have the navy, Night of Navy on top, that would be cool. Or reverse it and do Night of Navy for the background and then put glitter on top. And that's probably what I'll do, because it's hard to adhere something to glitter. It kind of falls off. It doesn't really stick very well. But when you adhering, because the back is not glitter, that will easily stick to that, and that actually looks kind of cool. So I like that. And then I'm gonna push this aside, and then I could do, oh, I didn't punch out all these little holes. When you send it through the die cut, sometimes you have to do a couple times, especially when you're using glitter or anything like really thick like that. So run it through a couple times if it's didn't cut all the way through. But anyway, it did cut through. I just didn't poke it out. So I could use that. And then this kind of reminds me of like a ship's wheel. I think it's kind of cool. And we could kind of like off center it like that, so you have the blue showing in between the spokes. So that would be kind of cool. And then maybe let's see, didn't really do a round. I could cut out a round blue to put behind it, so I might do that. We'll see. And then let's see, this one, oops, I could even like double layer like that, or I could layer it with that. And this could even go like that, and then have that layer like that. So we could do like a little smaller version. Anyway, so I love these gears and textures. I just kind of wanted to play with it. I hadn't played yet. So I'm going to pause for a minute, and then I will be back. Hello. So I had to take a quick break, but I'm back. I did want to go over with you that the layout that I'm using is, I'm going to use this one and this one together. This will be the right page, and this is going to be the left page. And this is from page 28 on the annual catalog. And I already did layouts with both of these previously, because it was part of a challenge to complete all these in the last, let's see, 8 months. So anyway, so I did those, and this time I am repeating it because we have another challenge to do one from the catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and use those two again. Anyway, so I am kind of placing everything here, and I'm going to move that over there. So I'm going to put everything on the white portion, and then I will attach it to build my base. So, but this way I can kind of get a feel for where everything's going to be, because everything's going to be on the white. So I may have a little bit edging off. So if you are a Seahawks fan, you would know that the chant is, somebody says "See," and then you reply "Hawks." So it's Seahawks, Seahawks. So because of that, I am going to split this. So I'll put C at the top, and then I'm going to put Hawks down at the bottom, and then I can cover up my little mistake that I did there. And I'm just going to kind of place this, make sure I have room. Oops, goes that way. So I do use two-tone cardstock, the 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock from Stampin' Up, because then you have a light and a dark. So if you use that, just kind of watch where what side you are using when if you want to be consistent. So, and I did kind of vary it a little bit, honestly. So I think, let's see, do I want it to do that, or do I want it all across the top? I think I kind of like it where one's on the top and one's on the bottom. It sort of draws your eye down, I think. So yeah, so I'm going to leave it that way. Just kind of center it. And I'm going to kind of cattywampus it, because then that way I don't have to be perfectly straight, and it'll just kind of look like intentional. So I'll do that. Okay. And then grab my little template. here. So let's kind of place this off to the side here. Okay, so I want to do, I like to have the blue be the major background, just because most of my pictures would probably go with that better. So I'm going to kind of stagger this, and then before I grab that, I'm going to do this side. So let's see, probably do the blue going this kind of off this way, and then probably the green here, and then do green here. So this is the light and that's the dark. So I have been varying it a little bit. Oh, this is actually, I'm gonna pull that aside. There we go. I'll just kind of, and then this is the dark. So we have both on this page, and this is the light and that's the dark. So you get a feel. And then this one, I pulled this off because this is going to be my, this is the light, and this is going to be where I can journal. So I'm going to put that here. And let's see, you know, I think I want that to be blue. So I'm going to trim this. Okay, so I trimmed it. It's 3x3. So these are 3x3. This is 4x6. That's, this is from the Stylish Shapes die cuts. And this is Stylish Shapes die cut. And then this over here is 4x6. And this is 4x3. And then I think, let's see, I probably want the green here. I'll just kind of put that there. And then, you know what, I think I am going to move this over. It's like that. And then I could do, so in the template, they have like a little tag on the far right, but I don't want to split up the word, the Seahawks word. I think that might look, well, I don't know, maybe that would look good. That's safe. Yes. If I did that, I'd probably want the green then, or I mean the blue. Actually, yeah, that actually looks good. And then could do like that. Just kind of trim that. Ooh, I kind of like that. Okay, so Seahawks, and there we go. I think we're pretty good. So let's start adhering. Oh, actually, I cut out all these little gears, and I'm kind of debating if I want to use these. Let's just kind of play with it. See if I put this down on here. Probably layer it. Is there anything I need to hide? That's probably where I would put it, like if I had a mistake or something. So maybe we put that there, and then we could kind of go like stick this here, put it behind there. Oh, that looks kind of cool. And then maybe do, let's see, do this up here. Oh, I kind of like that. And then we can mimic over on this side what we're doing. Have it come here. Oh, and that would hide up my mistake over there. And then, see, just when you have a mistake, it's an excuse to embellish, in my opinion. Okay, so then I'm going to just kind of alter that. I could go there. Oh, that looks cute. Okay, because it gets your eye to go. And then, let's see, grab this and this, and maybe tuck it like that, and then maybe put another gear up here. And I could do, actually, I'm going to swap that up. Blue gear there, green gear here. Let's see what else. Oh, then we got these little ones. And I could just kind of pop there. I could pop there. Oh, this is really coming together really cute. So we have that, and I might fill in some more once we're done gluing, but let's get this down and then we can play with it some more. Okay, so I'm going to start by adhering the letters to the t-shirts. I'm going to move this up a tad. If you have liquid glue, I would totally use that. I just don't like to use it in video because it takes a minute to dry, and plus it can get a little messy. So I'll just do that. Get all this down, and then I'll start with the middle first, and then that way I know I can kind of even things out. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to kind of set this up so it's right in here. Okay, so it's centered. So the middle is right here, right, with the 6. So I'm actually going to scooch it over just a tad, kind of like this, because remember, I'm going to alter. So that way, actually, I am going to do, I think it would look cool if these were popped up. So let me get my dimensionals. Okay, so dimensionals are little foam pieces to pop up any pieces that you want to pop up. So they have minis. They have the really small ones, and then they have regular. So I'm going to use the regular because I don't really need the minis. They also have it in black too, so you can have white or black. Black's good, like if it's going to be behind something and you don't want the white to show through. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on the back of all of these. Okay. So this one is the one I'm going to do first. This is the one in the middle. And it's also the one that I want to kind of cover up my little boo-boo with. So we'll do that. And then we kind of go this way with the K. And I'll kind of even raise it up a little bit. And then go that way with this. There. And then I'm going to go this way with the A. Actually, you know what? I'll go that way with the A. And then that way with the H for Hawks. There, I think that looks cute. So we got that. And then I'm going to kind of center this for now. So I'm going to move this a little bit. So this I'm going to glue down. Let's use my adhesive. So this is the light side of Night of Navy. So it is pretty light. It's almost like a grayish blue. So, and I prefer the dark color for the Seahawks because otherwise it looks kind of washed out to me. If you are going to do journaling later, I would advise that you stick your journaling piece flat. Don't raise it up because it would be hard for you to journal. So I'm going to just do mine flat. Actually, it's a little off here. Just a tad. Actually, I'll raise it up just a little bit. So it's more centered with that. Okay. Now, these are going to be for pictures. So, and then I'm going to overlap them a little bit, but actually I'm going to pop this piece up first. And, you know, actually, yeah, I will pop it. But I was looking at my little stuff here. That would be kind of cool to just have that going across. So I think I will do that first. Let's see here. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. And I need to grab my... Oh, actually, I was going to trim it, but I think I could just have it go like that. That works. Okay. So we're going to stick that on there. Now you could use this like for your title or something if you wanted to do that. I'll move it over just a tad, so it's more centered. My title is Seahawks. So now I guess I could do like win or something like that. But I'm gonna just leave it like that, and then put, where is the little? Oh, there it is. Now remember what I said about this sticking to the glitter. Sometimes it doesn't stick very well, so I'm going to really cover it well, and then I may have to go back in with the liquid glue later, but for now we'll just get it placed like that. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this up. There and there. Okay, and that's so I can slide those ones underneath. That's what I'm doing to pop up. So we're going to kind of, and also I can slide my picture here too. So that can just slide right in there. And then, so I'm going to kind of do that. Now these, you could pop up like one of these because they are like supposed to kind of overlap a little bit. So I didn't put glue right on that corner deliberately. So just one little trick. So now I can slide my picture here, slide a picture here, and it totally will work. Okay. Actually, I might lower this on this tab. There. And remember, we're going to have that outlined. So, okay. So that's down. That's down. What do we need? Oh, we still need to do this. Okay. So, I'm going to raise this up so I can put my adhesive and not get it on my page. Okay. And then, so I kind of wanted to offset this, like, so the green shows through. Kind of like that. There we go. And then I'm going to put a dimensional right here so it pops up. Before I stick it, I'm going to glue this one to that background. So, there. Stick this down. So we're going to put this here. And, oh, that's the other page. Oops. So we're going to pop this over here. Oh, I'm going to scooch it over just a tad so that this can look like it's part of. And actually, maybe I'll just kind of tuck it right here like that. And then I can cover my mistake right there. And then I'm going to glue there. And the Olympics playing in the background. Hopefully it's not, you're not hearing all the stuff going on with the Olympics, but I'm following it because it's exciting. I love watching the Olympics. Do you watch the Olympics? Let me know in the comments. It's I don't watch sports too often on TV. I don't mind going to a sporting event, but I'm not a huge sit and watch sports on TV. But I love to watch when it's like a big event, like the Super Bowl or in this case the Olympics, that kind of thing. And like I would never like sit and watch downhill skiing. That's just regular. But when it's in the Olympics, I'm just glued to the TV. And same with like ice dancing and all that. I love, those are kind of my favorites. I love the Winter Olympics more than the Summer Olympics, to tell you the truth. But you know, probably because I'm from Minnesota originally, and so that's kind of what I was used to seeing, all those kind of sporting events. So let's see. So I think I want, oh, that one goes there. Let's see. That should go with that one. So this one needs to go with the green. There we go. Of course, you don't have to have glitter or paper if you don't want to. I just like to, I'm a glitter gal. And then, you know what? I might remove this. Let me see if I can get this to move. I think I'd rather have it down here and have this be kind of poking up out there. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And again, I can cover up my mistake with that one. When I just lifted that off, it pulled some of the white paper. Okay, so I'm going to kind of offset these so you can see like the green and the blue poking through there like that. And this is from the Gears die set. And we're going to put that kind of here. Now there's also a stamp that stamps that image, so we could have done that. And then oh, this one. And then I'm going to just kind of stick this one kind of like over here. There. That can kind of just be like an embellishment for the journal. Okay, so we got that done. Okay, I'm going to scooch this down a little bit, and then we're going to do this one, and we'll do this over here. We might fill in with more stuff in a minute, but so this one we're doing, this is this one here. So let's move the gear stuff off. We'll do that at the end like the other one. So put this a little bit higher than what they have, just because I don't want this to cover quite so much of my picture. So we're gonna kind of go like that a little bit. Okay. It can go here, and then I'm gonna pop this one so that I can slide this picture underneath. Actually, do I want the dark? No, I want the light. Okay. I don't want too close, because when I flip it, this is going to be the one next to that one. So I'm just going to do kind of the middle, actually, and one outer. And I'm going to, do I want to tilt it? I think I'm going to tilt it, because it's kind of how I did for the t-shirts. Okay, and then, let's see, we want maybe like a little green here, and maybe we'll do, yep, we can do the chain. This time I'm just going to do just the chain. Do I want it like that? Yeah, I do. Okay. So I'm just going to do middle and stick it down. Let's see, there's two, right like that. And then that can be popped. Okay. Pop it there. There. So let me know if you're going to be watching the Super Bowl, or maybe you're watching this during the Super Bowl, and who you are rooting for. Hopefully the Seahawks. There. Okay. Oh, we should glue this down. Forgot to glue these down. Let's do that real quick. Okay. There's a rumor that Stampin' Up! Is going to get like this black mat, and I hope they do, because I will get 2 of them, so that I can have my, just show both when I do my 12 by 12 layouts. Anyway, so hopefully in the new catalog, they did come out with the Stamparatus. If you don't know what that is, it's like a MISTI where you can stamp, it's like a stamp positioner. So a lot of people are excited about that. I'll probably do a video on that. I got to play with it a little bit and figure out how to use it. But it looks pretty simple. I watched some other consultants doing it. And so, demonstrators, I believe they're called. Consultants, I think, is the close to my heart term. So, let's see. So we did that. Oh, and we were going to do, this one has that little tag, doesn't it? So, probably good if it was blue. And then green. I'm going to scooch this over. So, actually, I should probably go this way, and that can go that way. There. That's so that it kind of draws your eye, right? And let's switch this over, because it draws your eye that way. And then like that. Okay. So, grab my scissors. Okay. Actually, that kind of got cut crooked. Use this one. Again, this is from the Stylish Shapes. And you know what? I'll cut it after I glue it, and I can kind of, yeah. Okay. I'll just kind of do that there. And this one will be right off center. Oh, that was doubled up. Oh, and I just put it on the wrong side. Darn it. Okay. There. Just scrape it off. It's the beauty of these runners. Okay. So I kind of lower. You know what? I might lower this one down just a tad more, because I want to cover that mistake right there, for one thing. And then this way I can just kind of do this. So it's level with the edge. And then I'm just going to, well, I'll wait till I'm done, and then I'll flip it over and trim that. Okay. So again, let's start with the middle. Oh, shoot. We were going to pop these, weren't we? Okay. That's fine. Just pop it. So the middle, this time I'm going to keep my middle just kind of straight. Oop. There we go. And then this one I'm going to tilt that way. So let me know if you like this Granny Apple Green. I always want to go that way. Okay. It's kind of a different color, right? When the Seahawks came out with that bright green, I'm like, ugh. But I'm getting used to it. It's, you know, it's probably not something I would have picked myself. It doesn't look good on me, but I love the blue. Anything blue. So, okay. So that works. We got that going. So now we got our little gear. Let's see. I haven't decided if I'm going to do, if I want to do it with, on this side. I think I do want it on that side, just because I kind of have that mistake right there too. I'll cover that up. Okay, and we're going to go down lower. In fact, I could even go like that. Let's see how that looks. And then where is my chain? Here it is. Oh, let's glue this together. So there we go. And do I want this here, or could just leave this one here and put the little one over on this side. This one being the little one. Oh, where'd it go? I flipped upside down, and then it blended in. Oh goodness. Okay, so let's see. Kind of want. I could kind of do it like that, and then I need more circles. Oh, I have a blue. That would work. So I could kind of put this up this way. I could go that way. I'm just going to see if I like how that all looks together. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so this one I'm going to glue this to this. Okay, let's move this up. So we're going to, again, off-center it, like, so you have the blue peeking through. I'm going to pop it, and then I'm going to put this behind it. Now, before I popped the whole thing, but this time I thought, I'll just try something different. So we'll pop this here. Actually, I might double pop. No, then it gets too thick on your scrapbook. But we'll kind of just go like that. And then this one. Let's kind of layer this. Get that right there. I love these gear ones. I think when they came out, I was so excited. So I think, when I think about this, actually might not be available for you to order until March. I'll double check that, but now that I think that this is the one that was exclusive that just came out for consultants. So sorry about that if you got all excited that you could order it. But you will be able to purchase it in March. Usually it's the first Tuesday of the month when they release a new products. So be on the lookout for that. And then I'm going to put this one up this way, kind of off center it too. Okay, and then let's get this going here. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of off center it so you can kind of see the blue in between. And then glue that down and just kind of bring it together. So it kind of looks like, you know, like a wheel of chain. Now, I kind of feel I need to connect this now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, maybe connect it here. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? So what are we going to connect it with? Well, let's see. We could use that. That would be cool. We have another green. Oh, this is probably too big. Yeah. Or a blue. I may have to cut something. Oh, well, no, I don't really want that. Because that would work this way. Oh, actually, that might work just like that. Okay, let's do that. I love this Granny Apple Green and the glitter. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the plain, but when it's glitter, it just jazz it up. Okay. And then I'll pop it. So there we go. So all my gears are connected in some way or another. I guess I didn't really connect that one, but I think it's fine as it kind of draws the going up from there to there. So I think we're good. I'm going to turn this over and trim this one. And then you can use this for another page or something else, or on a card. So Seahawks. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so now we need to do, oh, you know what, I am going to put, because we did the little flag there, I'm going to put a flag there, and I could even do it going this way. Actually, maybe that's what I'll do, put it that way. Okay, so let's do that. Just kind of put that there. Oh, you know what, I have a little short one. I'll do that one. It's the one that I had glued anyway. There. Okay, now we'll trim this. So, I trim that just a tad. Okay, there we go. Oop. Okay, so let's put the backing on. I'll do this one first since it's sitting on the mat. So I just run, because I remember I gutted it, so I'm just going to run the tape runner right on the edge, because it's just like maybe 1/4 of an inch that it, probably still on the back. So you want it right as close to the edge as you can get. And then, hoping I don't run up here. Okay, so it's all over, and then set that there. And I'm going to do this one. I want, because this is going to stick to the blue. So I'm going to put this on the outer edge. Which I guess technically that's what I did on that too, the outer edge. Okay. I kind of skip like this, kind of a bad habit actually, but I do it because it saves on adhesive. But when you use some of the other adhesives, like the Stampin' Up! One, that's a tape runner, when you do that, it can get gummed up. So, so probably shouldn't do that. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of even this out. So it's right there. And I'm going to even this out. So this is going to go right here. Just make sure that when you do this, you have the right color up. So I wanted the dark on the blue. And like this one kind of got a little off. I was wondering about that. Let's see if we can fix that just a tad. It's the only bad thing about when you got, it's kind of hard to, well, shoot, I think I'm making it worse. Let's see. That goes there. All right, we're going to start over. Maybe I should, I thought I was being smart by doing it upside down, but, or backwards, or whatever, but since I didn't cut this green very good, it's kind of not working for me. Okay, there we go. There, that's better. Okay, and then this is going to go right here, and this will cover up my mistakes on that green. So, okay. Ooh, that was going, well, I guess it wouldn't matter. I just could have turned the page, but, okay, there we go. So there's that one. Put this off to the side for a minute. Okay. Let's take this green. Ah, I knew it was going to run out. Okay, got different adhesive. And this is the Tombow one. I like that other one better. It's kind of, it's just like the old Close to My Heart one, because it's easier to pick up and reposition if you make a mistake. This one's a little more sticky. Okay, we're going to put this down. This is why I love having this grid. It also is great on the Stampin' Up! Glass mat. In fact, I love that even probably better than this, to be honest, but it gets a glare when I'm doing a video, so that's why I try not to do it on my videos. This kind of cuts the glare a little bit better, hopefully. But there. And this. The glass mat, what's really nice about that is when you, like if you're inking and stuff, you can easily wipe it off. You can wipe it off of this too, but it just is a lot cleaner looking on the glass mat. And also when you, like, sometimes I'll just do a pool of ink on the glass mat, and then I use it like a painting, like a palette to pick up for paint. So there we go. Okay. Okay, let's see how it looks. So Seahawks. So anyway, hope you like this. This was just kind of something quick that I wanted to do. Well, for me, that's quick. And then again, this is, so let's compare. This is this one, and this is this one. So use these templates. If you have the catalog, use them. If you don't have a catalog, let me know. And if you want one, I would be happy to send it to you, or drop it off if you're local, and give you one. But you know, private message me below, or send me a chat in Facebook or Messenger. And if you're interested in doing a class, I do teach classes. This isn't one I was going to teach, but if I get enough interest, I certainly can, because it's just kind of basic. I have everything. So so if it's one that you would like me to teach, I will go to like public areas to teach a class if you'd like local library or something like that. You'd have to pay me in advance, and then because I can't collect money at the library, but you can like rent a room and stuff there. So anyways, let me know if that's something you're interested in doing, and I can meet up with you at a coffee place or something, and we can go over it or talk on the phone. Okay, Thanks for watching, and go Hawks!